Hey, how you guys doing? Michael X. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a little stream here. Uh, I got a bunch of games. Some of them I might have put in the other video, but I don't think so. So these are newer videos. Um, so I've been working on the Mark of Excellence. So, so yeah. So Northwest. I do believe this is with a platoon, but yeah, it's a really fun game. Let me see here. I need to. I think it's just the music that's loud. Alright. Everything looks good. The stream volume's good. Says one person's watching, but usually means 2 or 3 people. Yeah, I don't know why it's not accurate. I think it's designed for thousands of people, so when one person is, it shows up as one, but unless you hit like a certain threshold, like 100, it doesn't really show more than that. So, but I do believe that we have seen this before. This is actually a match from last week, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna skip to match number 2, which I don't believe was in last week's video. I'm double checking some other things on the stream, so if I get quiet for a second, that's probably why. So I've actually had some really bad games on this map since I've came back, and so one of the things I've been trying to do is go where you don't expect me to go. Seriously. Yeah. So last time I went out, if you go up the center where that AP, the Batchat AP is, it's actually a good place. But if everyone's going one way, you know, I like to go the other way. What's up there, Jonathan Perez? Yeah, thanks. I still play PC mostly, so yeah. I do want to let you know that this is pre-recorded gameplay, and I do believe that this is I do believe I showed this game last week. It's okay though. The next 2 that I have are not pre-recorded. I don't think. I hate when I see super heavies and I have great shots on, because there's really not much I can do. It's gonna just bounce, especially when they're angled. The Soviet armor is ridiculous. Like, I could probably pin that plate, but it's just not worth it. And so, like I said, if your team goes one way, best thing to do is to push, and every person in D3 should have already overmatched. Like, if you look on the map, you can see 2, 3, 4, 5 heavies, right? Which is pretty much the bulk of them. So they only have those guys in front of them. But a lot of people don't want to take any damage. At least that's what I think. So, so I managed to land nothing on that whole clip, which is pretty standard for the Russian tanks. Sometimes I will pin, you know, sometimes I will not. Yeah. So 709, I believe this is the same time that the 709 came out, which means I definitely put this video around that time. I myself did not get that tank because I haven't been playing for the last year. But it's a really weak tank as far as, for me, it's weak. I haven't had any trouble killing them. You know, obviously you need side shots, but the heat will go right through the upper plate most of the time. And that is the meta these days. There's a lot of people that are still anti-premium round, but, you know, it's a... From my experience, if you play on the PC version, you have to have, like, there's bad RNG. There really is. You can get bad RNG, but you can also get, you know, good RNG, and the bad RNG is way less than it is on here. For instance, if I was actually using the bat chat on the PC, I would have pinned most of those shots. You know, it's not exactly, so when it says it can pin that, and it can pin it at 500, you know, meters, it will pin it. On here, though, RNG can be an entire game. I've actually had it where I've fired up to 10 shots and bounced every single one of them just because of bad RNG, or just because the rounds weren't going where I wanted them to. Obviously, this tank's been kind of nerfed. Well, kind of. It's been really nerfed, actually. So, I'm kind of planning my move here. A lot of people don't understand that the bat chat is not a tank to be aggressive with. I mean, like, this looks like a YOLO, but I'm actually trying to use my presence to keep them from YOLOing our guys, because they're still fighting those dudes. So, so I want to get into a place where I can land shots on this guy, and he's not even looking, so it's not really... I mean, you could say it's a YOLO. You can see those 2 shots just went nowhere. You can see that I think I'm using heat. I'm going to say I didn't actually know that I had heat loaded, I think, or I may have actually loaded heat. When you're dealing with tanks like this, there's really nothing you can do except for outspeed them. You know? I'm pretty disappointed that they nerfed the in-between shots, because you need a 2.5 in-between or a 2.0 to really be effective. You know, you really have to be have light tank experience. You know, from what I've been doing with this tank, you have to have light tank experience. You know, to know that, you know, it's kind of like this. You got 5 shells. 2 of those are to pin your target, and 3 are to escape. Sometimes you can hit those rounds when you're leaving, but it usually rattles people. They miss their shots. What's up there? Is it Buccaneers 54? What's up? He says, I'm working on the 1390 right now. The grind is terrible. If you play it like the 1390, it's a light tank, but from my experience, it's actually more of a medium tank for me. I play it like a medium tank. I actually have a game I could show you where I did 4,000 on this exact same map just because of the speed. So a lot of times people will play so aggressive with this tank that they get insta-killed. It's the same thing with the 1390. And they're really weird tanks. I mean, honestly, a lot of people, I get messages all the time saying you're a coward, you're sitting in the back of the map, and it's like, you kind of have to. This thing has no armor. If you run into a light tank, the gun's so inaccurate that you can't actually shoot him most of the time, unless you make a dead stop. I have been able to hit them on the move, but that's just because I had good RNG. So you can't really depend upon that. So, so you kind of have to play it like this. You know, you spot, you try and get to your spotting assistant damage. You keep doing that. You kind of do the unexpected, and then at the end of the game, win or lose, you start picking off targets. That's the best way to play the 1390 for me. I know guys that can play it like a light tank and go zooming around and stuff, but like I said, it's better to play this thing pretty much how you've seen it. Is you stay away, you stay out of view range, you shoot from range. Now I will say that there are people that, you know, there are people out there that will what's the best way to put it? There are people out there that play differently, and they're probably better than me. But to emulate that kind of gameplay, you have to know how to read the map, you know. And so this is what works for me most of the time, is to kind of reload. Like, what do you do in between these reloads? You run away, you hide, you reload, right? You know, for me, the reload gives you time to think about what you want to do. So I'm going, artillery is probably, you know, giving trouble over here, so I should probably take out Artie. I don't think I'm going to be able to take on those TDs. And both of them together would probably one-shot me. Buccaneers says, no, I'm on the Bat Chat 12T working on getting the 1390. That's right, they're not in the same tech tree anymore. Sorry about that. I forgot. That's pretty funny. If that tells you how long it's been. I keep forgetting that they divided those two tech trees because they used to be the same. Actually, aren't they still? Yeah, I think they are. Okay, so 4,900 damage. Mark of excellence is good. You can see I caught somebody on fire. It's pretty sweet, I think. So 4,900 damage. I'm gonna go ahead and go to my next video here. I really hope these aren't the same videos. They look the same. I just think that these maps are maps I'm particularly good at. You know, that I have, you know, the best RNG going on for myself anyway. I kind of want to see if I actually did this in my last stream. I was gonna just make a video of it, but yeah. Okay, so I have Bat Chat Fun. Yeah, one map was on, it looks like the Amazon that I showed. No, Monahan. Yeah, I didn't show any of these, so that means that first game I showed you guys was actually... That was the only one. I think the second game. So obviously I'm in a platoon with friends here. Hey, what's up, Alpha Dog? What's up there? Alright, so... Still looking at the chat. So, with Artie around, this isn't the best area, but I will say that for me personally, I enjoy doing shoot and scoots. And what that means is, as soon as I fire and get detected, I have maybe a second or two before, you know, if artillery was over here, that was a huge risk shooting those two shells. So for me, this seems like it's going to be a terrible match for me, and I'll be lucky to get 2,000 damage if I'm lucky. This game happened this week. Now, obviously, I'm going to go ahead and say, like, without my friends here, I would be focused on... There's no way I could sit here. And if there's not any other teams, you know, teammates around you, I've had guys just literally leave, you know, and we were winning a side, and they just all of a sudden just left me by myself, and I'm sitting there going, well, wait a minute. You know, it happens sometimes. No, let me see. So Buccaneer says, honestly, I haven't seen your stream. This game is forever. Yeah. Yeah, this game is, you know, but this actual match goes down to the last seconds, which is one of the reasons why I'm showing it. So this is the way that I've been told is the best way to play this, and that is one, spotting assistance. You want to get your spotting assistance in the beginning of the game, and then when stuff starts getting too hairy, you know, like when I got spotted, I could hear artillery, so I make it look like I'm leaving the area, but I'm not. I want to get spotting assistance, but somebody has better view range than me. I would assume it's that light tank getting all the assistance. So this was actually a game from, I believe it was Thursday. It's kind of crazy, this guy. I say this all the time. I'm like, as soon as I'm done reloading, and you watch this light tank guy, I mean, I understand that he is, you know, doing his thing, but I mean, I know he can see me shooting, you know? I know he can see me shooting at this guy. Maybe he thinks I'm reloading, but he's gonna block the crap out of me. I know this trick because I used it a lot in Russian tanks. And of course I get blocked by him. Yeah, everybody wants that damage, you know? That 140 just pulled up, you know? So I'm kind of tired of this guy, so I'm just going to move into a position where, you know, I can just go get him. There's one hitters. I should be able to take both of them out. As you can see, my friend that was sitting there is being focused on by Artie, and it's one of the reasons why I don't do that stuff. There we go. So there's one shot. I want to take out this M60. I don't think I need to because Reaper got him. Now my friend Reaper, he is really good at this game. He actually has 2 marks on his bat chat. Well, I appreciate the Buccaneer you coming and watching the stream. I used to stream live play, but I used to get screen sniped, and so I started adding on like 30 seconds to a minute to prevent that. And then it's like when I'm talking to people, the only thing I could do is type to them. So I'd have to have a second person there answering questions for me, which would kind of defeat the purpose of it, you know? So, I don't really like artillery, but I do know that they serve a purpose in this game. Yeah, they really do. So, yeah, you might wonder why I don't take any shots. It's because that's not a big enough area to hit, because you have to have almost the whole side. It's really rare. I think I'm going to go ahead and shoot because I had enough time to sit there. You can see it still missed. And then the one that I rushed actually hit, which is funny. But once you're detected with 2 Arties, I want to go save the Artie here. I think it's the smart play. I think my friends, I'm like, they've been out in that field forever. They're doing fine. This bat chat has made a mistake as far as I'm concerned. I know that it takes 2 shots and or 1 shot and a ram. You know. I was thinking that last shot was gonna miss. So my buddies, we're all falling back into the spawn because you kind of have to. I remember talking to them about it. I was saying I was gonna defend the spawn, and mainly because I kind of wanted to keep the Artie because he can, you know, you can sit there and just keep him detected sometimes and just let Artie hit him, and they won't YOLO you because they're afraid of, you know, the fact that this tank can fire so many shells. So no more comments, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm actually better, I think, on the PC with this tank just because, I mean, I get games where I might get YOLO'd or even evaporated, but I'll still drop, you know, 2,000 or 2,500 a game regardless. And of course, that's why I want to keep our Arties, is because there is that chance, you know. The crazy thing is that he was hit 3 times by that Artie. I still don't understand at what point do they go, you know what, I'm choosing that guy, because he could have chose me. If I was in artillery, out of all the tanks, I would take this tank out, and just because of its ability, you know, to do what it does. So this is my buddy Raging Stoner. Me and him are both. I forgot you can't go this way. It's the same on the PC, which is funny. So I've actually gone out in this field and ran into just god awfulness, you know, and so it's kind of risky. I could get hit by Artie. I'm pretty fast. I'm not detecting anybody. and I know that my buddy's got my back. So that shot didn't hit. I'm gonna make sure I hit, and then I remember back in the day there used to be a groove all along the edge of the border where you could drive and not get hit. It seems like they changed it a little. So we can hear artillery. I can hear them firing, right? I mean, you can hear them, but it sounded like it was our artillery. So they finally kill our artillery, and I was gonna say this: the Sheridan, in my opinion, is it's super trolly for this tank. I actually have a game yesterday where I fired 5 rounds, and every single one of them bounced off of the side of the Sheridan, which is crazy. So risky right here. If he would have been loaded, you know, I heard the shells, so I knew he had to fire. But who knows where this other guy is? And it does look like these 2 tank destroyers, you know, are doing damage. So I'm gonna reload. So not really much I can do about that other arty if he's even back there. So we got an E4, which is a priority target, and we got the Yag Tiger. I remember I used to put up 7K games in that Yag Tiger back when I did that line. And I got the Yagaroo, and I was just so disappointed because it's just so trolly. So anyway. So really, I have full health pretty much. I can take the shot from the E4. And I'm going to choose to just take the road less traveled, if you will. He's looking at my buddy. I thought he was anyway. And all I get is a track. And I couldn't believe that I bounced that. Bounced that too. Need to get this Sheridan out of here. I remember I was talking to my friends. I was like, run away. I was like, oh no, oh no, oh, is he gonna get me? E-brake. So, I've played the Yag Tiger so many times, you know, myself, that I know that it's super slow. You know? Super slow. It's not very maneuverable unless you have the perks. But as far as shooting straightforward, you know, I'm not detected anymore. So I'm like, I doubt the guy's going to expect me to come from the same direction. I think he thinks I'm coming around the other way. And of course, you know. But as soon as I seen that red round, I knew that I had plenty of time to get this guy. Now, I was going to go for the track, but as you can see, I'm actually out of ammunition, kind of. And I'm trying to actually drive forward, but my tank was actually stuck to his. Like, I could not get away. So we have 6 shells left. I keep forgetting that if I was to find artillery and have 2 shells, and that's it, I could fire one and then fire my last shell and get that achievement. So Buccaneers says, what's with all the 10s today? Been playing my 8s and getting nothing but 10s. That's how it always is. In my personal opinion, on console, I can't stand playing premium tanks at all. And I mean, not to like put dark stuff on it, I just think that all the tanks that I purchased were really good tanks, and now they're not competitive. And so it's, I can go right now and play the IS-6 on the PC and have some good, decent games. I don't run into tanks that just absolutely, there's nothing I can do to them. I do have to use Prim most of the time to get kill shots, but it does have 186. If you ask me, it should have a 200, but only on the IS-6. It shouldn't be on the IS, you know, because the IS needs 175, you know, because that's just the way it is. Or the IS-2, Chinese. The heat on the IS-2 is ridiculous, so it's one of those benefits. But that's just my personal opinion is, play 10s. You know, if you play the tier 8s, you know, if you don't have premium time, you pretty much are stuck playing tier 8 or lower. So my personal favorite tier used to be 5 back in the day, and then I slowly went up the scale. So this is all I've been playing for weeks. I'm not really going any higher in my damage standings. The highest I've been is 75%. I need 85, so I pretty much have to put up 3K combined per match to get that second mark, which is fine for me, except for I've had a couple games where I've driven off cliffs, got one-shotted by Artie, and got YOLO'd a couple times, or I ran into 3 light tanks and there was just really nothing I could do. So I do not want to get hit by this dude. I'm out of range, and if I sit, you know, this is way too far to be snap shooting. Even fully aimed in isn't very good, you know? So I know this trick where you basically drive, you fire, and then you bounce off. You bounce off the border. It's a good trick. So that was a good game, I thought. You know, 5,000 damage. It was a good, decent game. Trying to get that machine. I'm almost there, actually. Another thing, I don't usually, because I play on the PC, I don't normally play very much on console on the weekends. I mean, I might play you know, early morning, but most of the time I don't do it. So I got a Top Gun. It was my second Top Gun of the day. I was going to choose the video to show the second Top Gun, but I just decided, you know, hey, why? So couldn't have done that without my friends helping me, honestly. Amazon. So I think that this might be a video I've already showed. I hope it's not. Oops. My bad. Let me just take this over to my other desktop. Well, not my other desktop, but... So the Amazon... I'm just going to check something real quick. I don't know if this is from a week ago or not. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close this real quick. And... yeah, it is Amazon. Okay. Well, yeah. It said... let me see here. 120. So this was not on... okay. Yeah, I've had good games on the same map, which is kind of trippy, if you think about that. My best game so far was 5,900. Yeah, actually 5864. That was my best game so far. Let me see, do I have a 5,900? Not seeing it. So this is the last game I have here. For me, it looks really laggy looking and bad. Hopefully it looks good to you. So I really don't like this map, but I mean, it is just a reskin, right? So I mean, this is usually a good area to go. There's no Artie. So one of the things I do like about this map, well, I'll say that the map that's not skinned, is you can go up here and get really good spots. You can also get from some, you know, like intimidation factor, because people are so afraid of the bat chat, you know, because it could pretty much take out one tank. So nobody's rushing over. So once you make your presence known, you can kind of use that, you know. use it to your advantage. So you guys may or may not notice that it says press, you know, the mouse button to zoom in right there instead of click the right stick. So yeah, I looked on the rules for this game, and there's nothing that says you can't use a mouse and keyboard, but there are things that say that you can't use an emulator. So if you use an emulator, you can technically be in trouble. So my buddy actually looked that up for me, you know. So if you remember what I was saying, you know, you need a whole tank side. You can't shoot hatches, you can't shoot lower plates. I mean, sometimes you can, but maybe 1 out of, you know, 5 rounds is going to hit where you're actually aiming. So that's not happening too often. As you can see, trying to shoot the cheek it just ain't happening. You know? Sometimes I get lucky with shots, and then sometimes I don't get lucky. So like I said, you have to play this tank back. If I was in the middle of this, I would just be taking every shot. And there's, what, almost 40 seconds that you have to wait before you can do it. So if you ever see, you know, a bat chat sitting back like this, there's nothing you can really do besides spot. I've seen guys come up and, you know, get in behind people, shoot, take a bunch of damage, and then get away and escape with their life. But for me, I somehow always seem to get crew members hit, or I get tracked, and then I fix it. You guys can see that on this game, I'm using standard. Stuff. I recently switched to premium equipment just to give me that extra protection. But you know, it costs 20,000 silver, which does kind of bring up to me that I wish that World of Tanks would give us the ability to buy them in bulk, you know, because there's nothing worse than having a great winning game, but you had to use your repair kits, and it ends up being a negative game. It makes you feel like you won, but you lost, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I hope this isn't the game from the last stream I did. I'm pretty sure it's not. It's got a different damage. So you guys might wonder why when I try to use that I have to stop. It looks like I stopped everything. So if you do use a mouse and keyboard, what you can see is happening there. That's basically, you can't look past the horizon of the map. It's very weird if you're using mouse. I did notice though, honestly, that if you do try and shoot downward at somebody and you're in a precarious situation, it's not really something you should ever be doing. So in a sense, that brokenness actually helps you to not do dumb things. I just need to remember not to do it, if you know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna take some damage here, but there's not much I can do except for try to get around this guy. So trolly when you get next to a dude. Yeah, the speed, I'll just say from the people that I've met that are like so good at this game, it's ridiculous. You know, speed beats armor, and obviously, you know, having 3 people on one helps out a great deal. Holy accuracy. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed something with the bat chat that I hadn't noticed before, which was I changed well, they nerfed the ground resistance, so I changed my view perks and then put coded optics on here. And I went from missing 2 to even 3 shots to missing only 1 per clip, unless I rush the shot. Which is, to be honest, pretty fair. You think about that, right? Yeah, this is going to be a damage trade. And of course that guy hits me. Tries to snatch the kill. What a jack off. Jerk off! Yeah, I've had people do this on the PC as well, where they come in like, you know, like, I'll say like seagulls, you know, trying to get that last little bit, you know. I will say you pretty much have to do whatever you can with the leopard, because it just has no armor. The biggest thing with the leopard for me was the fact that it's ammo rack. I wish that you could load less ammo in it and increase the durability of your ammo rack. Just because it has that potential. If you run into a 150, you know... So you like how I rammed that guy to make him have to re-aim? Don't you think that's funny? I gave him the kill, though. So 5,100 and only 303 assists. Now, I heard that you have to share it, so... For me personally, it's been pretty rough as, you know, as far as that goes, you know. So, so from what I've been told, that you have to do a lot of damage and you have to get a lot of kills. So I've gotten a Mastery 1. But I had to get 6 kills and 5,900 damage, and I think I had 1,100 assist, and I even had some blocked, which is crazy if you think about that. So I know a lot of people, you know, join my stream to watch console stuff. It's kind of been a curse for me, honestly, or at least it feels like a curse. But I am going to play. I wanted to play you guys. I wanted to play you guys this. Let's see here. I wanted to play you guys this crazy game I had yesterday on the PC. Now, I am not nearly as good. You might think, you know, well, why aren't you as good on here as you are on console? And one of the main reasons I'm not, you know, that good on here is because I like, for instance, I have 2 marks with this tank on the console. I don't have it upgraded. As you guys can see, it's a stock turret, but I did get the tracks and I did get the motor, and I had to work for them. So for me personally, back in the day, I would buy XP to get the top guns, because for me there's no lessons here. This tank means you play hull down and you pop, you peek-a-boom. That's it. There's no other way to play it. You can't sit out in the open with it. You can side scrape with it because it does have spaced armor, but not against tank destroyers and not against you know, any Soviet tanks. But you can do it against American. Anything with a 120 you can bounce sometimes. You have to have the right angle, but... So this game should be... I'm going to check something real quick. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now it's showing proper. I don't like it showing my desktop. So I do this trick all the time. I don't know why I never get detected. I mean, like, I wouldn't recommend this because I've actually gotten, you know, just absolutely torn up here. I was actually so stressed about getting shot. You know, this bat chat, he basically doesn't want to go up here. Now, so... Some of the experience I have on console lets me know what I can and can't do, which is, one, if you're gonna fire, you can't see through the bushes. But I've noticed that recently it doesn't seem like it matters on PC for me. So I've been just, you know, I don't have 6th Sense on here, or actually I think I do have 6th Sense. Yeah, I don't think I do. I don't think you'll hear 6th Sense go off once. So I usually back up, which is a terrible idea because they could just, get your motor, catch you on fire. So I see this and I go, okay, I'm going to get out of here. Now you know I'm detected. You know it. I got to be detected, right? So common sense says I'm detected. Now I kind of wanted to bring up the fact that my crew is not a very good crew. Yeah, so if you look at the Skoda, the only place you can pin the turret is on the left cupola, because he has the upgraded one. The thing is that on this one, you could hit it anywhere pretty much, but it's going to bounce unless you hit the cheek. And there you go. You can see this, if you look at that, let's go back on it, real quick. If I can. It's not letting me do the control. Oh, there we go. Okay. So if you guys watch this, you'll see there's a T-54 Mod 1. And if you look at it, I shoot the very edge of the turret. It goes in the turret, pins the Skoda, hooks around, and hits the Mod 1 for a 1300. So in total, I did 315 plus 1300 in just a brief second. Just bloop. And I also have 1300 assistance, which doesn't make any sense if you think about that, because that's my own target. You know what I mean? Spotted assistance. So it registers on there wrong if you look at it. So look at my damage, right? And look at my assisted. Tell me that's not broken. It literally says on there 1300 damage, but my damage is only registering as a little bit, which is funny. So I sat here and I was going, that was crazy. I was like, I think I need to, I was like, I think I need to take a picture of this, Okay. So paused, replay speed. Okay. Okay, I don't know if it just froze. Pause. Let me try increasing. Okay, there we go. So, a little bug in the replay, but it's fine. So yeah, like I said, I have never seen that before personally, especially on console. I've only seen a friend of mine shoot a Hesh round, and it basically blew up. It hit the front of a KV-4, but it killed 3 tanks around for a bombardier medal, which is crazy to get with the Death Star. Okay, I think there we go. Okay, so you guys can see what I'm seeing. So keep in mind this is a stock tank. It's stock. I just have the track and motor. So I now have the turret, and I'm working on getting the autoloader. I'm not going to bother getting the next gun up. I don't think it would matter because I actually work pretty well with 205 pin. I mean, it's basically a tier 8 premium, that has an actual turret that can bounce stuff, which is good for me. I forget that the distances we're talking about here are much, they're a lot further than what you see on console. They're a lot further. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys this game just because it was crazy. I had another game this morning that was pretty awesome. It was just, it was an RNG though. Yeah, I would love to take credit for it, but every shot I fired hit. So, it's not one of those games where you sit there and go, oh, well, that's that. I could definitely show you guys it if you want to see it. Like I said, we did some console videos, and now we're doing some PC stuff. I personally have I have a lot of I have a lot of I spent a lot of money on both of the games, the Mercenary. My biggest problem is controllers. So I could go get a different chair. I kind of think that it's a chair that's what's causing, my hands to go numb. But if I hold a controller, I hold them in such a strange angle that my pinkies go numb, my hands start swelling up, and the funny thing is I took the arms off because they're adjustable. I took the arms off of my chair and then did it, and it still swelled up. So I think it could be a combination of maybe I'm allergic to plastic. So so you can use mouse and keyboard on the Xbox, but I'm going to go ahead and say that, you know, it's buggy, it's glitchy, most people don't like it. But like I told you, I myself don't actually like it. Wow, that was weird. Some laggy shot. I remember thinking that. I was like, God, what the heck? If you look, everything's jerky. You know? Very weird. I'm thinking that that guy's gonna pin me any sec. The accuracy on here, if you guys look, is much better. So I need a medal to ram somebody to death. So I do believe that it counts as a ram, even though it's just a crush. But I'll take it. Yeah, I think artillery, it's so upsetting. But I will say this, look, he only did, with premium HE, 250. And it's because he actually shot the front of this thing. It is a squishy tank, but it's only squishy from the side. So a lot of, excuse me. Hold on a sec, let me clear my throat. Go. So I had a guy message me and say, what the hell was that? You know, why are you putting your barrel up? You know, like it was an insult. It's actually more of a salute for me. You know, like saying, you know, like it could be me there. That's why I do that. So, yeah, I just had a game. And I was gonna show you guys it. Like I said, it's nothing near. It's nowhere near what I do on console. Like I'm putting up, you know, 5K games all the time. On here, I'm on average throwing up like 1,000 damage, if even that. So I've actually been worse since I came back on PC, and I think it's because the 6 cents perk isn't quite the same, you know. So let me see here. I don't know which one of these Czech games. Let's see. So I got 2 games with the Persian. It may be this game. Yeah, I think this is the one. I would love to show you guys the stats, but I don't know why they're not included on this, you know. So if you guys are, you know, if you guys ever play the PC, I've been hearing that they're going to make it so that there's just a single crew member on the PC. But it kind of scares me because, you know, I have like some guys that have 9 perks, and if they're all going to get switched to the commander, which is much easier. I think it really sucks when you have to get, you know, brothers in arms for 5 dudes. It doesn't make any sense, you know. And it's a lot more complicated. And then if you want to reset your crew because you messed up, you know, you shouldn't have to you have to spend 200 gold to reset them. So I have some guys where it's like I have camouflage on a heavy tank as a perk, and I won't move them because I don't have any money. So as you guys can see, this was this morning, and I have the upgraded turret, motor, tracks. I just need the top gun. So I'm right there. I'm about 15,000 XP from it. Yeah, we can go off of the basically at the end of the game. If you just look on the left hand side, you guys will see the damage that I do on this, which is not crazy. And I will say that I don't really like playing over here, especially with Artie, so I'm kind of scared of it. But I do have relatively good map awareness on some of these maps because I've actually played them, you know, like 10 times from both sides. So from experience, trying to cut through the center where that SDB was, or trying to go into the E3 area is just a mistake. Now watch this. I actually bounced that guy. So that spaced armor does actually work. sometimes. I kind of felt good after that because I really felt like RNG was with me there. I gotta say that I hate some of these hills because they're really not set up for 8 gun depression. They're set up for 10 gun depression. So that leopard, the side he's on though, he can barely shoot me either. Which is kind of crazy if you think about that. So, I'm going to go ahead and fix my gunner. Kind of need to. So, hatch picking this tank or hitting the right side of the turret is pretty easy to do for me. So on here, I'm using the 8 gun depression. I have to be where I'm at. So I'm going to go for the cheek. You can see that my shell actually missed where I was aiming. And it's because of server delay, which I'm happy it still hit. But hey, you know, it happens. So, yeah. I get into a really good position where I'm like, okay, I can go ahead and hit this guy's hatch. And I end up taking a shot from the leopard, or the J Panther for 516. And I'm like, well, that's nice, you know? I know he's reloading. But so I got my 6 cents. I had to use free XP that I had. You know, free XP. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't normally... This is about the average damage I've been doing with the stock gun on some maps. Just because I don't know where to go. I don't know where the high traffic areas are. And it seems like people do like 3 different strategies. You know what I mean? So, I haven't heard my 6 cents go off. So, I do believe I get credit for that shot right there. I get credit for it. But I'm going to go ahead and back off. As you guys can see, the STB, or the STB, STB1, he's gone out, like, I don't think he realizes the best place for him is actually right where I was. And so I didn't really realize it, but everybody but me was deleted, which makes you wonder about the shots that I've actually fired and if they really were effective. So I know we've lost this flank. You know, we've lost it. You know, we've lost the flank. So I'm thinking I'm going to get out of here. I'm at least going to fall back to the SU-130. The biggest problem that I have is that those guys sit at a range where they can actually hit targets, but they're not going to be able to hit them because they're always hull down. So it's a very small target to hit. So it kind of puts you in a position where this little area is great for the sniper tanks, but only if they try to YOLO you. So in a sense, it basically creates a stalemate on the map where you have to fight on the hill. And if you don't have gun depression, you know, you do not want to take a T-54 right here. The T-54 does really good where that STB was, unless there's guys in the city. So yeah, when I played the T-54 on this map, I did some different stuff. So I have no intentions of firing, you know, at these guys because I just want to keep them lit. So I'm thinking, hey, these guys are going to back off. They might even run. And I noticed that now the Batchat AP is not here. So I actually stopped for a second and went, okay, so it's just the E50. And although the E50 is a good tank, it really is. Especially because it can side scrape. I think it can actually even reverse side scrape, which, you know, it's not really necessary unless you're, you know, in a particular situation where the guys can't YOLO you. But the turret can be pinned. So, yeah, accuracy and penetration are much better. So I'm going to go ahead and do the old shoot and scoot. I do this with the Batchat AP. I do this with the Awful Waffle. I always am sitting backwards ready to fire and run away. So fully aimed in with this vehicle, you guys will see here that, you know, if this was consoled, it's not even a shot I would try to make, you know. But I had said it before, I think I said it before, I said that, you know, even if you have the patent, you cannot make shots at that range. You know, you cannot. Just occasionally. You know, or if you have the Leopard 1, you know, you just can't make those kind of shots. There we go. I got credit for that. I'll take it. I was like, affirmative. So I'm sitting here and I'm going, okay, the Bat Chat's in the city. They got that Yagaroo back there. They got two artillery, so my first thought was to go into the city from the other direction, and then I seen that the Stevie's going this way, so I was like, I'm gonna follow him. He is a one-shot. I'm pretty much a one-shot as well. So if I do get killed, he can kill the guy, and if I get killed, he can kill it. So that's my idea. I actually completely forgot about the SU-130. Or the Sashka, if you that's what it is on the console. So I'm you know, I notice this guy, he pops up, I get spotting on him, and I'm gonna go ahead and just land one more shell. There we go. That may look easy right there, but it is very hard to lead targets on the PC. I mean, it's super hard. I think it has to do with server fluctuation. If you guys look at my ping, you can see that it fluctuates from 70 down to 61. And so I get spots, but I don't, yeah. So I'm trying to get, just keep them lit up for Artie. I mark him. And now I'm going to go ahead and he gives me an opportunity to shoot him. These are the kind of shots that I'll just tell you I've had miss on console. And it's one of the things that I wish that they would fix. They say if it was as accurate as, say, on the PC, that the good players would make it so nobody could play. They've lost so many people at this point. I really think that, you know, the only frustrating thing for me is I've seen friends rage quit, and it's always because they missed their shots. You know, they're like, how can you miss at that range? You know? And you add in the reticle into it and stuff. Now, I'm not saying you should get rid of the reticle. You have to have something to kind of, you know, dampen. But I did not read the comments, by the way. I was like, I got more health, so I'll go out in the open. I'm telling these guys he's probably coming for them. If I was him, I would have went for those guys. Seriously, I would have went, and then you could get 5 kills, then you only need to take one of us out. If he came up behind us from the hill that we just came from, after he killed the artillery, yeah, he could have won this game, I think. I think this guy could have won. So I'm gonna force him to come here, but I'm gonna use this bush as camouflage. It's very crazy because I don't actually even see this dude. You know, I don't know where he is. You know, and he just comes from a crazy thing. And I'm going to say that if you watch at the distance in which he shot me, I'm surprised he hit me at all. Just because, you know, on the move with the Bat Chat AP with that, you know, the AMX 5100's gun is, you know. I keep thinking he's going to come from this corner because there's that bush there. He could possibly fire without me being detected, or without him being detected. Because you can go to the edge of the map and shoot into this cat, but he probably doesn't know where we are. He probably thinks, oh, it's just one guy. I'm going to just come in and kill him. This is where I was going. Okay, well, if I do get killed and he pops up, I miss, and the Stevie gets him. So it was a good game, I thought. So if we pause the video here, you guys can see here that 1700, 1200 assist, 500 block. It's not the best game, but considering that I'm so close, I ended up getting something like 12,000 XP for this game. So anyway, I am going to go ahead and end this stream. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I haven't really been doing much. I really don't feel like doing daily uploads. I feel like getting a collection of decent games and then picking out the ones that I think have some kind of learning value, or something like that is the best way to go. Um, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Um, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And you guys have a good one. Later.